Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space. I've been meaning to show off the PK-61, excuse me, Half Widow, which is based on the Black Widow, an actual aircraft that I don't remember anything about except that it has a somewhat similar design, although not super. I didn't really go that hard on trying to make it a replica, and also I believe this is way too small to be the real thing. The key to its functionality is a couple of fuel cells in here and a robotics controller, which does a very simple thing, which is controlling the prop pitch, I believe, of the deploy angle of some of the blades, actually going down on the deploy angle slightly at higher speeds, and having the torque limit have this little S curve up to about 2/3 throttle, and then going the rest of the way. This whole thing is set up in thirds, so it's like the first 2/3 of throttle is to get up to speed, and then the final one is for maximum speed. And it's all through fuel cells because these are electric rotors in the ends here, in the engines here, with nice little intakes, which I believe are closed. Oh no, they're open. Technically can go faster if those are closed, so I'm going to go ahead and close them. Although that's not fair because the version that I already have uploaded to Kerbal X has those open, so you just have to deal with that, honestly. Or don't. It's up to you. I don't care right now. In any case, here we are on the runway. I'm going to go ahead and throttle up, and really, realistically, you can go straight up to 2/3 throttle because up till 2/3 throttle, nothing's happening. The fuel cells are started automatically, so you can see we are using a bit of fuel there, and the electric charge doesn't know what to do. And then we're already at the basically peak speed before changing the blade pitch. This thing obviously flies very silently because for some reason robotic parts and moving blades through air very fast doesn't create a sound in KSP, which I kind of really hate. But as you can see, when we throttle up even further, just by changing the blade pitch, we can increase the top speed by quite a bit and get it up to around 200 meters per second, which is, I can't remember what kind of speed that is. But in any case, we're going to just roll and pitch hard. And oh yeah, it's set to have very gradual movement instead of very abrupt. So you can see we're pulling a steady 4.8, 4.9 Gs, which is pretty good actually. And you can see we're losing speed very gently, but very gently. And now I remember that the reason it pulls turns the way it does is basically I wanted it to have sustained speed in a turn, which it does. So I'm very happy with how this came out. And it's pretty simple. It's not the best looking, but it is enjoyable having a nice little propeller craft that you can fly around. Okay, maybe not little, but medium-sized, I'd say. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Z-fighting going on right now. I'm not quite sure why the Z-fighting is going on because I did design it to avoid Z-fighting. I hate Z-fighting, but unfortunately, we do have a little bit of it going on right now. And I'm going to go ahead and throttle back, which is going to slow down our speed quite a bit. And then I'm going to pull the landing gear out, continue this turn very gently. And you can see, even as I throttle down even more, we're maintaining about the same speed, and that's because, well, these engines are overpowered. And now you can see it's only when I get down to really low in the throttle range that we start to lose speed. You can see I can turn the blades basically off and still have a sustained flight speed. Although at this point we're going to need to pull up more. Okay, I don't remember what the minimum speed this can fly at is, and we're not pulling up fast enough, so I'm just gonna... There we go. Now I have it at minimum again, and I'm just gonna kind of slowly float around, yawing hard because I want to turn. Okay, yeah, we're falling too fast. So it seems like around 60 to 70 is the sustained speed you want to go at maximum. And now that I've broken some of the props, let's see how well she works with severe damage on one side. I'm imagining there'll be quite a yaw moment here, as expected from having fewer blades on one side than the other. And about the same top speed though, which is really funny to me, or at least the same top speed before changing the blade pitch, and then once we change the blade pitch, I'm imagining it's actually going to get to a similar top speed still, because again, this thing is overpowered. It could be optimized a lot more. I just didn't want to. So yeah, we'll instead claim that this is for survivability. you know? I like how it looks like it's got 4 blades on both sides right now, just because of the speed they're going at. See, once it slows down, actually I could just hit the brakes. And now you can see that I only destroyed 1 prop on that side. So it's not that bad. Obviously you can see it's wobbling the craft quite a bit though. Because, you know, unstable and stuff. Anyhow, let's crash land it again. You can also go straight from a standstill to maximum speed without too much trouble, if I remember correctly. All right, let's land carefully. Yeah, not a lot of prop clearance there, unfortunately. But if I remember correctly, like I was saying, you can go from standstill straight to full throttle. It just will accelerate slower because the blade pitch won't be optimized for low speeds, which is kind of why I have the Cal controller set up the way it is instead of just having a set pitch, or even just having the controls just control the pitch, which would actually possibly be better to make the torque just at maximum all the time, and you just control the max RPM and blade pitch by changing the throttle. That might be a more useful way to do things. But in any case, I'm now going to demonstrate what I was just talking about by going straight to full throttle. And you can see it does start moving on its own, and it will successfully complete a takeoff run like this. It's just you can see the acceleration is much lower right now than it would be if we were at 2/3 throttle. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to 2/3 so you can see that the acceleration is much higher now. And it's only once we get up to around 120 to 130 that the acceleration improves by being at maximum throttle. Actually, it's only around 130. So, yeah. Enjoy. What? Oh no! Why is it considered obstructed? Is it this? Here, let's deploy that. Oh, that's still considered obstructed. Well, I was gonna have them eject and crash it, but apparently I can't do that. So instead, we're gonna have to rely on the survivability of the aircraft and crashing. Hell yeah. Can you get out now? Woo! I have Kerbal Crash System installed.